So I'm here to break down my top 10 quarterbacks of the Saban era, and I want to do a list for every position in the Saban era, seeing that the Saban era is officially over. And what better to start with than the quarterbacks? So I'm going to go 10 to 1. And well, I was born in 2003. So my whole life has been the Saban era. Obviously, I was watching a little bit before, but I wasn't able to fully understand. But I watched every single one of these quarterbacks every game. So um, it's kind of crazy. My whole life is basically one era uh, that I can understand. Um, so I'm going to go 10 to 1. Number 10, I got John Parker Wilson. Now, there were the other three quarterbacks that started a game for Alabama weren't going to make this list. John Parker wasn't great, but he was the first guy I ever watched a quarterback, and I thought he was awesome when I was a little kid. The other three quarterbacks, I could even go ahead and rank them right now. Not really. I mean, Blake Barnett, Cooper Bateman, and uh, Tyler Buckner, they were all bad. So, anyways, but 10 is John Parker Wilson, kind of just by default. He started multiple games, unlike the other guys, and now he wasn't good, but he kind of embodied what Alabama football is about. And yeah, he was the first quarterback at the Saban era. Number 9, and I could have flipped 9 to 8, but 9 I went with Jalen Milroe, just for the simple fact that I think he still needs a little bit more to improve. But and I'm still giving Milroe the Saban era. Like this is not the cutoff for him. Whenever he's done is where the cutoff is for him. I'm gonna give because he was a Saban recruited quarterback, and he played under Saban, so he gets his whole career so he can move up this list. Right now he's at 9. I love Jaylen Moore, man. He's one of my favorite players that's ever walked through Alabama. He he's a great athlete, and he just got better and better and better. And that's ultimately what took Alabama to the playoff. Now they didn't win, but it wasn't his fault as many people want to say it was. Jaylen Moore is a fantastic talent, and I think he has a big year under Kalen DeBoer in his first year. And 8 is Blake Sims, as I alluded to. And I think I could have flipped them because I feel like this I feel like they kind of on the same career arc. Both have their shining moments, both really good athletes, and both lost a playoff game in their first or their starting year. What gives Blake Sims the nod is just because they're really kind of the same ranking. I had 8 and 9, and I can be argued either way. But yeah, I think Milroe's more talented than Blake Sims. So maybe I do flip that, but for right now, I just went Milroe 9, Blake Sims 8. At 7, a lot of Bama fans don't like this dude. He helped bring Bama that national championships against Texas, but Greg McElroy, people don't like him because he doesn't like represent Bama like as a like post playing. He doesn't represent Bama, but that's just his job. I get it if you don't like him, but that's just his job. I'm not gonna hate on the dude. Um, but yeah, he brought Bama national championship. Again, not the most talented dude, but a lot of these guys aren't. Um, but McElroy was the first quarterback I remember like vivid. Like I remember watching John Parker Wilson. I remember vividly watching like every game of Greg McElroy. So number 6 is Jake Coker, and I think he could have been higher. He kind of had the same thing as Milroe, and that's what led to Cooper Bateman starting one game. He struggled in a game, and Nick Saban wanted to see what else he had, and he gave Cooper Bateman a start, and they lost. So Jake Coker comes back, and Alabama goes on to win the national championship. There was It was fun watching Jake Coker, man. The transfer from Florida State, he he felt like an Alabama quarterback, and he made fun play after fun play. He wasn't the most talented dude, no, but he made fun play after fun play. And that one throw to Darius Stewart against Auburn will always stick with me. So yeah, Jay Coker at 6. 5 is a guy that two fan bases like to claim, and that's Jaylen Herz. Man, I love Jaylen. I don't know what it is about dudes named Jaylen on Alabama, but I also love Jaylen Waddle. So, Jaylen Hurts, he embodies what it is to be, first off, an Alabama football player. He also embodies what it is to be a competitor. He didn't, after he got benched in the national championship game, he didn't stay, or he didn't, well, he didn't leave. He stayed and he got better. And he was able to help Alabama win when Tua went down the SEC championship game. So, and people forget Jalen Hurts should have won a national championship as the starter, like the whole game, the year prior. He just scored too fast. He made a great play, and Deshaun Watson, Hunter Renfro went down the field and made better plays. But Jalen Hurts, I think if you ask any Alabama fan, they love this dude. They should love this dude. He gave them every year he could, and then he went to Oklahoma and he became a second round pick. I don't care which fan base claims him. I think both should be able to. But if you're saying Bama can't claim him, you're just wrong. He spent 4 years at Alabama. He stayed as a backup. He didn't leave right when it got tough. I'm not getting into that. Four, I think people might have him a tad higher, but I went with Mac Jones. He won the national championship his first year as a starter in that COVID year in 2020, and he put up ridiculous stats, finishing third, I believe, for the Heisman Trophy behind his teammate and Trevor Lawrence, which say what you want about that. Again, not the most talented dude, I don't think, and he's kind of had a rough go after a good first year in the NFL. But Mac Jones was, I mean, he was a 3-star. He stuck around. He waited out his turn. He's another guy that you root for in that sense. But again, he's at 4, 1 year of elite production. He did get a national championship under, unlike one guy I'm going to name later on, as a starter. I guess two guys, because I'll get to it. But again, I factor in everything: talent, um, winning, just everything. Just as my life would be a Bama fan, all the guys I've watched, this is how I'd rank them. And Mac Jones falls in at 4. He might be higher from some people, just not me, which is okay. We have different lists. 3 is Tua. Man, I love Tua. He won a national championship as a backup, and he came in and won the game. He never won one as a starter because his um, fell fell way short in the national championship his second year. Um, and his third year was injury riddled with the hip injury. But man, Tua was talented. He was throwing dimes everywhere, man. He turned Alabama into a passing team, which for my whole life it was a running team. So when they became a passing team, it became real fun to watch, and it was interesting how one guy can do that. And now he had a great receiving core, and at some point we'll talk about them. But Tua, man, he was throwing the ball over a yard. Um, you can think whatever you want to about his pro career, but as a college quarterback, man, he was really, really good. Number 2, this is a guy that he could be at 4 or he could be at 1 for some people. I don't think you can put him anywhere after that. I really think he should be in top 3 for everyone, and he almost was my number 1. But when it came to talent factor, I gave the other guy the nod, and this is A.J. McCarron. I believe he's the most winningest quarterback in Alabama history. If not, I mean, he played the most games. Um, Again, I haven't looked all into that, but AJ McCarron, man, he was my favorite player for forever. Um, all he did was win, and him, Amari Cooper, all he did was win, and he won 2 or 3 national championships. He won the one against. He was there for Texas, I believe. He won the one against Notre Dame, and he won the one against LSU. Yeah, so AJ McCarron, man, he's just what an Alabama quarterback was. He was the first really good quarterback, in my opinion, of the Saban dynasty, and he's kind of what kickstarted. I mean, Greg McElroy got a national championship, but AJ is what I think kickstarted it. And number 1, and people might have different opinions on Bryce Young, but hands down, in the Saban era, he's the most talented quarterback that has stepped foot. Now, You can say what you want to. He has a national championship as a backup against from Mac Jones, so that doesn't really count for him necessarily. But again, um, I really think it was just about the players around him let him down. The national championship game, he had injuries to his top two receivers, and when they were both playing, or at least John Mechie was playing for half the game, and Jameson played for the whole game, they were winning. They beat Georgia 41-24 in the SEC championship game. And when Jameson Williams was healthy in the national championship game, Alabama was winning. And then the guys that needed to step up didn't step up. Now I'm not going to put it all on. I'm not going to take all away the blame from Bryce, but man, it didn't seem like he was getting any help. And then the next year, it was more the same. The 2-loss year, and it sucks because I think Bryce had a rough go about it, but I think he's the most talented quarterback that's ever stepped foot, and that's what gave him the nod. AJ is the more like accomplished quarterback. Bryce is the more talented guy, and that's why Bryce Young was the first ever Alabama quarterback to win the Heisman. That's why he's the first ever player from Alabama to go number one. Bryce Young, I think, is the most talented quarterback in Alabama history, or at least in the Saban era. But yeah, that's my list. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you'd flip. I could see AJ Bryce flip. I could maybe see a two AJ Bryce. Like, I think those have to be the top three. Some people might put Mac Jones in their top three. That's cool. I definitely really considered flipping Milroe and Blake Sims. I think you could put Coker ahead of Jaylen Herz if you wanted to. I wouldn't. I fully wouldn't. I'd put Hertz above him. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know what position you want next.
And they win.